Hey Gemini, how's it going? Excuse me. I'm a little sick. So this is going to be your reading for the end of March, beginning of April 2017. I just want to thank you guys for watching my videos. I really enjoy all of your support and all of your appreciation. It really keeps me going. It's the main reason why I do this. Oh, I should have made a list this time. I had a list last time. I didn't make a list this time. Follow my Twitter. It's under construction. Trust me. I have a lot of other things to do. I just have to find time to figure out what I want to actually do with my Twitter. But in the meantime, if you guys follow it or whatever, if you're on Twitter, just like message me a question and I'll do like a weekly, maybe sort of like bi-monthly sort of thing where I answer your questions. I didn't tell Aries this, but everybody always asks why did I name my channel Wavy Teeth? Because my teeth are wavy. They're like jagged a little bit. That was just me owning up to like something that I always thought was sort of weird. I mean, a lot of people have it. You know, I have a sweet tooth, so they've just eaten away at my teeth. This sugar. Okay, anyway. Yes, your last reading. I already shuffled your cards and everything. The last reading it was all about you guys. Like, I was getting the sense that, I don't think I said it, but at least like I feel like a confrontation was like what was gonna like set you guys free. That was what was gonna have you guys just sort of move past the BS and into something that was new, into something that is better for you guys. But it was also a time for you guys to just like take a pause, take a mental break, because you guys had a lot of cards like that. Sort of figure out what you want. Tying up loose ends. You know, all the other mutable signs, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. It's been difficult, along with the cardinal signs, but they've had it hard for a few years now. I think I'm going to sneeze, but I don't know. So it's like going forward, it's like, I don't know. I feel like we're all at this place now in our lives where it's like sort of make it or break it. It's like, are we going to continue to allow this shit that happened in the past, the stuff that happened in the past, all that, like all the drama, all the backwards and forwards, are we going to let that sort of rule our lives, rule our 2017, or are we going to like just stand up and say what's on our mind? Maybe I'll always say that because tonight is the new moon in Aries. It's not tonight, it's like tomorrow night. I don't know, I'm not really that much of an astrologer, even though I sort of fancy myself to be one. I'm not the best astrologer. Excuse me. But anyway, so like, yeah. And then it's like all on the planets, like Saturn is across from you guys, so it's like you're trying to put things into place. You're trying to get things going, get things started. And also, I never mentioned my sun, moon, and rising because I never think it's really important. But people always ask, I'm a Pisces sun, Pisces moon, Gemini rising. Okay. Oh, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands. I'm seeing this as you guys already, but we'll see. So we have the Two of Wands, which was also in your last reading. Nine of Cups reversed. Knight of Pentacles. The Hierophant in reverse. King of Wands in reverse. Also, if you want a reading, just email me. The discount is through to the end of the month. I don't know. I feel like I might have to just adjust my prices, maybe somewhat. I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with that too. But in the meantime, I might just keep these prices. I don't really know. But we'll see. 3 nines. We have the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. The Fool. Ace of Wands reversed. And the Ten of Wands reversed. lot of fiery energy. Okay, I'll just start from the center. Okay, so yeah, you guys are. Practical steps are going to be important for at least understand. Like, okay, to sort of branch off from what I was saying earlier about the whole fact that now is a good time for us to like sort of reanalyze what our actual wants are, what's holding us back, what are the proper steps we need to take in order to like sort of give ourselves this freedom that we've been so long craving, this freedom or this well, yeah, freedom. Like you don't have like all these burdens or whatever, all these obligations, all these duties. For a lot of you, it could be home related. For others of you, it's more career and you're sort of trying to pursue your own passion. So I'll start there. So, okay, I see this Nine of Wands as you guys. This is the energy you're carrying, or at least it's the energy, it's a signature that you should carry. Or maybe there's like somebody that's on your periphery, that's on your mind, that you're thinking about, that's like a fire energy, Sagittarius maybe, or Leo, or Aries. This is the energy you need to put out in order to bring them in, or to sort of have this new, to sort of reawaken yourself. Because it's been hard, especially for Gemini for the beginning of the year. I felt not as hard as other signs, but still like really difficult because it's like I feel like you're trying to make something out of nothing, or you're trying to put something into motion, wherein the very success or the failure of it is dependent upon whether or not you're able to like actually be authentic and be true to yourself. You know, I see you guys wanting to do that with this Two of Wands here. You have this desire, you have this spark of imagination, you have this passion, you have this goal, and you're just like, okay, wow, I want to take this somewhere, and I know it's going to be good. It's always good to have that. But again, with this Nine of Cups here in reverse, I always see that as like emotional resentment, just clinging onto things, just sort of being stubborn, just feeling like you deserve something just because. That's going to be something that's going to be important for you to sort of dig yourself out of, or at least to sort of, reassess that thought pattern. Because ultimately, I feel this way too. Like, it's a flaw in everybody. We deserve something just because, or like, people should feel sorry for us just because. People should support us just because, this is more all about just standing, just sort of calming the waters within you. It's all about like, okay, you have more support, and you have more love, and you have more ambition than you are allowing yourself to realize, because it's calcified in this old way of thinking where like, it's more like other people should do for me. You're not thinking about what you should do for other people. And that's just coming from maybe because you are so enthusiastic about this, or maybe because you've been in this position for so long of like, not of stagnancy, of static, of where things, like if this is a love relationship, there are no cups besides the Nine of Cups. Where it's just like, things that haven't been moving as fast, as quickly as they could be, or it's just like, oh, you're just ready for something new to come in. And we're approaching you guys this season in a couple months. So it's like, especially with this Aries new moon, with all this Aries energy, which is making a connection to the Gemini energy. It's just like you're ready just for things to go. Things are opening up for you, and you're realizing where to put yourself. Excuse me. But it's going to be important for you to not to get too impatient, to realize and to recognize that everything moves in its own time, in its own process, and to sort of ground yourself, to really ground yourself and focus in on one thing, Gemini, because I'm probably more Gemini than I am Pisces, so I understand where it's like we feel sort of unfocused, and just it's hard for us to really stick to one thing and sort of ground ourselves. But I feel like if you guys do have something that you have in mind, whatever it is, again, this is incredibly general, I feel like it's going to be important for you to just, one, let go of all that emotional resentment that you have, all that emotional, I can kind of see this as like toxic energy, um, in a way in which you're probably lashing out at people if they're not giving you what you want, or you're just cutting people off emotionally if they're just like, if they're not supporting you as enthusiastically as they could. So I feel like it's going to be important for you going forward to understand that it's all about you, and it's all about what you have to bring to the table, and about how you plan to like sort of the practical steps you're taking to sort of build this. And I think it's going to be something that is, again, with the Hierophant in reverse. The Hierophant, okay, it's a boring card. Nobody likes the Hierophant, but I do, because, you know, when I do my own readings, for a while when I did my own readings, the Hierophant would always come up. And it sort of represents this, what I'm doing here. You know, in the Hierophant, when I see this reverse, it's just asking us to, like, sort of question our, not question our choices, sort of, but it's bigger than that. It's more about, like, questioning our life purpose, if that makes sort of sense. It's more about, like, recognizing when we have to go against the grain, when we have to sort of put certain ideas of ourselves, certain ideologies, we have to put them to the side for a little bit before we're able to, like, so we can fully integrate that part of ourselves that we've ignored, that more unconventional side of ourselves, the part of ourselves that is sort of afraid to sort of think differently, to be sort of more creative and more daring. But Gemini, we do that naturally as an energy. But for you, I see it's like being a process. It's going to be something that you're really steadily working toward. But you can't lose this passion. You can't lose this desire. Because you might get discouraged and you might sort of back off from it, and you know that will happen. Like if it's a relationship, or if it's like a job search, or if you're working somewhere, or if it's a career change or a move. It's important to just be as realistic as possible, but it's also to be as flexible. It's important to be sort of flexible. You know, Gemini can be a flexible energy, but again, that depends a lot more on other aspects of your chart to see how much flexibility that incurs. But again, it's going to be essential for you to do this, to at least see things in a way that's advantageous for you, in a way that you know is going to actually lead to some sort of fulfillment down the line. And so we have this King of Wands here, and I want to pull a card for this, because this could be another person. In fact, it might be. So for some of you, this is another relationship, or it could easily be a job as well. The Six of Swords came out. So if there is something sort of troubling, like, okay, let's say if this is all in a relationship, like you and a partner, you know, you want to take things to the next level, you want to move, you want to bring more passion back into your life. You're going to have to figure out how to deal with this person here, because they're probably not making things that difficult for you, or they're probably not making things that easy for you. And so you're just like at a point now where I see navigation here. You're trying to figure out how to, if this is a marriage, the Hierophant, which it can be marriage, it's more like, it doesn't have to mean divorce, but it can be like where it's like, okay, you've seen an aspect of your relationship that's just not working out, and I see that here with Ace of Wands reverse, but I'll get to this real later. But it's more like you're trying to understand in the most practical way possible, in a way that's beneficial for the both of you. You're trying to understand like how to sort of get this person on your side, to sort of bring this person along with you. This person just might be very stubborn, very egotistical, whatever, in a way that you feel like it's hampering you guys' ability to actually thrive as a couple. And it's going to be important, especially if okay, let's say this person is rude, is mean. You know, I don't want to say leave them. I mean, if you're only dating them, fine, leave. And if they're not good for you. But, you know, if you're married to this person, it's all about, you know, how do you make things more copacetic, more amenable. I don't know if that's the word. More calmer. Because there's friction here. If this is like a work situation, again, it's the same thing where you might feel a little bit confined, you might feel a little trapped, you're testy right now, and it's just like it's going to be important for you to understand, look, long term. Six of Swords is a very long term energy because there's so much. We've come out of so much BS, so much crap that it's like, okay, we're excited to learn more. We're excited to see where all that knowledge takes us. It's a new beginning, essentially. And so I feel like it's going to be important for you to understand the long-term game, not to get too hung up in the short term. So at the bottom row, we have the Nine of Wands next to the Nine of Pentacles. Excuse me. So whatever this is, you're defending, like, okay, if this is like a relationship or this is like, you're defending your stance regardless of what, like, I see you guys as being so headstrong. There's so much fiery energy here, even if some of it is reversed. Where you're just so headstrong, you're so determined. And like, I don't want to say you guys are in a position right now where you feel like you're able to call the shots, but some of you might be. You might have gotten a promotion, or you might have you have a lot of money, and you're just, or at least you have like a solid foundation around you where you're just like, you're at a point now where it's like you can sort of pick and choose what you want to do. Or you need to embody that because some of you don't realize that yet. You have to understand that you are at a position now where you've come out of you're tired. You've been dealing with people's bullshit for just far too long, and it's just like it's either, I don't want to say it's now or never because it's never now or never. You know, it's always whenever we come into our own decision, which is also what the Hierophant is. It's more like being comfortable with the decisions we've made and the life paths we've chosen. And I feel like that's something that's going to be something that's going to be like nagging at you at the back of your head. I feel like for whatever time period this is, end of March into April. Again, I try to be very general with the time, but I think I've contradicted myself on that several times, but whatever. Major Arcana is super important, but all these other cards are very transitional, transitory energy. But anyway, so I feel like you guys, it's going to be important for you to like step into your own worth, step into what you know you can do and what you can't do, what drives your passion, what doesn't, what you need to let go of, and what can be fully sustained. And again, I feel like that's not going to be an easy question or an easy thing to deal with for all of you because we have this Ten of Wands reverse as well as this Ace of Wands right next to it. So it's like you want to bring something in and you want to let something go, but it's just like, ugh. But I feel like because this Fool is looking this way and not towards all the more difficult energy over here that the Knight of Pentacles is looking at, I'm seeing as this process is going to be like, you know, take that leap, take that risk, do what you feel like is right for you. Sorry, I thought I had to sneeze. Excuse me. Anyway, so take that leap, take that faith or whatever that is going to be important for you. The Fool is also looking at this Nine of Cups in reverse. So I feel like it'll be better if you do so in a way that, or as you're doing this, you're going to learn a lot about yourself emotionally. You're going to learn a lot about what you can and can't say, what you can and can't do, like how to come across to certain people. And people might just be a little bit hostile towards you or just be like, what's your problem? Sort of. That's sort of energy I'm getting, especially if you decide to go this route. If you decide to like really just go for whatever this is, like a move or, you know, saying, fuck that, I'm going to start my own business, or I'm going to, you might even say, I'm going to dump this person, like if you're dating. Or like if you're dating around, again, just trying to put yourself out there and meet new people. But you can't you can't hold on to things that, old thought patterns, old ways of feeling about people, like especially if you got burned in the past. You can't let any sort of rejection sort of hinder you or stop you from going forward. Because, you know, the prospects, I'm telling you, it's not going to be all, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be, things aren't going to go as quickly or be as fulfilling immediately off the bat as you want them to. But this is a process that, again, you cannot lose this fiery energy, this Knight of Wands, which I just really feel like it's you. And if it isn't, you're going to meet somebody that's going to be like, sort of like a fun plaything to like have fun with. And, you know, don't take this person too seriously. I'm just telling you that now. But going forward again, this is where most of the lessons come from, and I see if you're actually able to like ground yourself and put in the work, put in the piecemeal efforts, you'll be able to like sort of like release yourself from whatever this, if it's a particular person or stressful job, because the Six of Swords is the only card here that's upright. Um, so it's just like this is going to be a process that's really you're going to become more in tune and more in touch with what is holding you back, what's more stressing you out, really being able to be cognizant of the like petty little things that you're holding on to, what's stopping you from being so joyful and joyous. And I see you're trying to work both ways. And it's more like with this energy here, you're trying to bridge the gap between wanting to be independent and wanting to be more spontaneous, but also understanding that with that sort of new freedom and with that, it's not going to be easy because there are old bridges that need to be not burned, but like sort of like looked after, sort of maintained, or bridges that need to be cut off completely, or things that need to be let go of, certain duties, certain hassles, certain burdens, certain obligations, because things aren't as fresh as they could be. But that's something that we're working towards. It's something that it's got to be. You've got to realize that it won't always come automatically or spontaneously or overnight or whatever. It's something that we work toward. And to not give up that enthusiasm, to not give up that hope, Gemini. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching this. I'm trying to upload these as I make them. Whatever, we'll see how that goes. This video will be uploaded today, probably, before I go to work. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, whatever. Do what you want to do. I will see you guys later. Bye. Peace.